There's a lot of things on my mind right now. The first of which is very good news. This is loan number 2. This is Kanazo. Kanazo is dead. Barbaricia has $1,000 left to go. I'm debating whether to say dollars or hit points. And that's very good news. That is very good news. I should be very happy to say that. But the problem, YouTube is becoming a less attractive option for a lot of content creators. And I want to be more than just a YouTuber. As I spent the last 2 weeks or so, pretty much since the start of this month, as I spent the last 20 days cleaning up and going through all my old papers, throwing out about 4 binders worth of high school and college work that I don't need anymore, throwing out a bunch of textbooks, like 5 boxes of textbooks that I can just find that information online. Most of it's obsolete anyway, it's from like 2006. It made me realize that I want to do more. I want to make not just videos talking about shit, I want to make video games. I want to make original animated content. I have a Wacom tablet, which my brother got me, which I have no idea what to do with. I think it contractually obligates me to make my own graphic novel now, which is going to be fun since I don't know how to draw. I can draw stuff. I can jerk like cartoon characters a little bit. I have kind of a distinctive style in that. But it's going to be interesting how things shape up on this channel moving forward. I'm going to keep trying to put out content, but I don't want to put out content just because I want to put out content. I want to push myself to get stuff out frequently, but I don't want to just put stuff up because I needed to put something up. I want to put stuff up because it's good. I want to put stuff up because I'm proud of it. And I have projects that I want to work on. I was going through all my papers and I found so many old abandoned game ideas. I got like a whole folder full of them. And this is not even the start of it. This is not even the beginning of it. This was a design document from 2005. I shared this on Twitter a little while ago. And there's tons of stuff in here. I want to make something. I want to make something good. But I also want to make people happy. And for a lot of people, making videos makes them happy. Like, watching my videos makes them happy. And that is an amazing feeling, that something I am creating is making people happy. And I want to keep doing that. I want to be able to keep doing that. So if the YouTube adpocalypse hasn't, the adpocalypse hasn't really affected me too much. It's demonetized about 6-7 of my videos that weren't really getting that much anyway. And I don't really monetize my stuff on YouTube. Maybe I should. Maybe I'd get a little bit more money. But that, like, $15, $20 extra a month, I don't really think it's worth it because I don't like ads. I know you guys don't like ads, so I figure why bother putting ads on the videos if it's just going to drive people away. And I have my Patreon now, so if any of you guys want to help me out, you can find my Patreon, obviously. So my next step is I want to try to build up my channel, but I also have just things I want to do in my spare time. I want to learn to make games. I want to go through some editorial, some tutorial stuff. I want to be more than just a YouTuber at this point. But I am insane, so I'm going to try to juggle both of them. But I'm not going to be totally insane. There are going to be days, there's going to be certain weeks when I am busy or I'm just not feeling it, when I won't put up a video. So I'll try to still get out like at least 3 videos a month. Probably on Mondays. Mondays seems to be a good, solid day to bring it out. I've been doing it for a while, and it's going to go up on Patreon before that. It's going to be up, so if you want to see anything that's new, that's going to be the first place it's going to go. So, with that out of the way, I thought it would be fun to just kind of show you what I've been doing and what I have managed to do with my room. It's not going to look that different from what it was, but I did have to move a lot of shit around and throw a lot of stuff out. So I can show you what I currently have set up, and I can sort of talk about it, because I haven't done one of these in a while. This is sort of the last game collection video I did was like 7 years ago. It was filmed with like a webcam that I couldn't even see the monitor on. So that's going to be cool to do. So I'll see you over there. Alright, so obviously you recognize this. This is my main set. It's also the southern wall of my bedroom. And this stuff, I don't want to have this up here the whole time. It's really hard. This camera has a really narrow viewing angle for some reason. But yeah, this is basically my, I'm going to get this stuff down. This is basically my Nintendo shelf. Everything Nintendo except for these memory cards. Everything Nintendo is up here. I've got some old game boxes, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, the only GBA game I specifically bought. All the others I got secondhand. Hang on. Okay, now that I have a tripod, I can give you a better angle on this. This is my Nintendo shelf. This is pretty much all my Nintendo stuff. Some of these are actually pretty rare. This is a Club Nintendo Hanafuda card set. This was a Club Nintendo exclusive before they shut the stuff down, and these are old Hanafuda cards. Obviously, they are not branded like... Obviously, they originally didn't have a Boo there, it was a Moon, but these are all modified to feature Nintendo characters. So you got Lakitu there, I think there's a Goomba in one of these, and this is how Nintendo got their start. They manufactured Hanafuda playing cards. And you can play games with them. There's a game called Koi Koi that you can play with it. And I believe Wario has had a video on his channel that talked about how to play that. And there is a version in the Clubhouse games for the DS. So that's really cool. That's rare. You got my Amiibo set, which you probably saw them in a recent video. Only 2 of these, no, 3 of these I actually bought. Mewtwo I bought because I like Mewtwo. That's the first one I ever bought, I think. Bowser was after that. Mario was a gift for my brother for my birthday. Sheik I got for free at a raffle. And King Dedede I got it because I just wanted a Dedede one. And that works with Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. And it works with Smash Brothers. And I needed to look that up online to make sure that it worked with all of them. Here's all of my Virtual Boy games. I don't have too many. But there weren't that many made. So that's actually a pretty good percentage of the entire catalog. Loose Game Boy games. Some of these are actually Japanese. Like these two. This is Japanese Pokemon Gold and Hoshi no Kabi 2. Kirby's Dream Land 2. Unfortunately, neither of these have a working battery. So that kind of sucks. I would need to get in there with a security bit and replace the battery, but for now they just look good. These are all the Game Boy games I've had over the years. You got Zelda Link's Awakening, also dead battery. So yeah, the batteries are starting to die in these. Pokemon Red, also Pokemon Blue down here, and the Pokemon Trading Card game, which is the one that I have this box for. And that was my original one. The other one was from a friend. And I believe if you have 2 Game Boy Colors, they have this infrared port on the back. You can use it to get free cards, which is really cool. And yeah, in here I have Kirby Tilt and Tumble. I can't play it in here because it's upside down and it would be in a different angle. It'd be backward. But yeah, my old original Game Boys. This one is, technically speaking, my mom's. Because I broke my old one smashing it against my head in rage when I was playing Super Mario Land. No, not Super Mario Land, Super Mario Land 2. Super Mario Land sucks. Super Mario Land 2 is actually really good. But then when I played through it again, like years later, I couldn't find the part of the game that made me so mad. I'm pretty sure it was in the space level, but Other than that, I have no idea exactly what part of the game made me so mad that it actually cost me a Game Boy. I smashed the screen in my head, it shattered, and it turned on, but it wouldn't show any image. So, oh well. And all my GBA games, those are really nicely stacked, so I don't want to do anything with them. But again, all those GBA games were bought completely secondhand. The only GBA game I ever bought firsthand, new from the store, was Tactics Advance. And unfortunately, it's not one of the better Tactics games. But I also have my DS stuff. I don't have too many DS games because I had an R4 card. And I still do. It's somewhere around here. Pokemon Diamond, Brain Age, and Phantom Hourglass. I bought all those firsthand. And then Children of Mana, Heroes of Mana, and Spyro. What's that? Shadow Legacy. Shadow Legacy, those were all gifts or bought secondhand in like a lot. And of course I have another Club Nintendo exclusive here. This is the Smash Brothers for the 3DS and Wii U soundtrack, which was exclusive if you had the keys for Smash Brothers on 3DS and Smash Brothers for Wii U, which I managed to buy somebody else's, or I got somebody else's key from the 3DS, and I don't know what I traded for it. I think I traded like a Mewtwo code, and then I managed to get this from it. I forget exactly how I did it. My 3 kind of golden chalices right here is Dragon Warrior 3 complete in box, which is not only rare, but quite rare. Dragon Warrior 3 is rare enough on its own, but complete in box and like this and unopened is spectacular. I also have the original Dragon Warrior right underneath my loose Dragon Warrior, so I do have 2 copies of it. And Super Mario RPG, which has never gone down in price since it first came out, which is insane. Old RPG stuff never goes down in price for whatever reason. You can see my old NES collection. This is all old NES games that I've had since I was a kid. A couple of these are newer acquisitions from the Retro Game Treasure. But yeah, I got a Blaster Master, Dragon Warrior, Dr. Mario, Gauntlet, Gyromite. And this, if you look closely, this is a 5-screw. This doesn't have the little hinges at the top, so this is a 5-screw Gyromite. So I could open that up and be able to run Famicom games. And I do own a couple of Famicom games. This is Akuma-kun and Super Arabian. And I tried Super Arabian. It's a standard kind of arcade game, arcade platformer. Collect letters, don't hit enemies, basic stuff. Iron Sword, Milan Secret Castle, Maniac Mansion, Ice Hockey, Mega Man 6. Last Mega Man game to come out for the NES, that's a bit of a rarity. Robo Warrior. Robo Warrior is kind of an interesting story because I wanted that game so much because we had this video, like not really how to win at Nintendo games, but it was like a game guide. And I would watch it I would just watch it for entertainment. I would just watch the videos because I was so obsessed with video games. I would just watch this as just a video, just as something to watch, as something to keep me quiet as a kid. And Robo Warrior is one of the games on there that I so wanted because it was so cool. It just looks so neat, and it's held up decently well. It's a kind of a hard game, and it goes a bit long for its own good. But I may do a video about that at some point. Shadowgate. The first game that came out that was made by that company. They later went on to do Uninvited, which I also own, and Deja Vu. Silent Service, Solomon's Key, Solstice. It says Mad, but that's Spy vs. Spy, which I mentioned in my top 10 simultaneous 2-player NES games. Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Bros. Duck Hunt, which is like the most common game out there. Everybody has a copy of that. Tetris. I did not own a copy of Tetris for the NES for a while, and just until this last year that I got one from a Retro Game Treasure box. Uninvited, another interesting story about this. If you look at the cover of this, it's just this grotesque skeletal ghost reaching out at the player. And for a while I was friends with this family that had a kid that was maybe 8 years younger than me, but he really looked up to me as kind of a mentor, as just kind of a family friend. He liked me. I was a little young to be friends with the parents, but a little old to be friends with the kids, if you understand that. I was an influence on him, and one day the mom came to me and she's like, I want you to try out this game and make sure there's nothing too crazy in it that for my son to play, and it is uninvited. And just from the look on this thing, it's this insane ghost reaching out for you with the red light from the camera reflecting off of its face. But I played it. It's just a point-and-click adventure game. You have to go into a haunted house to find your sister. There's a couple of disturbing scenes in it where you turn around and there's a Southern Belle, and you walk up to her, and she attacks you, and she's made of acid, and you die. And then, of course, if you look around, you find a bottle of No Ghost Spray. It's actually called No Ghost Spray. You read it, and it dissolves ghosts. Then you try to use the bottle on her, and she's like, you use the bottle, but nothing comes out. Maybe next time you should open the bottle first. So it's a beginner's trap. Wall Street Kid, I did a video about that. Werewolf, I did a video about that. And then Legend of Zelda and Adventure of Link, the two games. That L used to be under... Link used to be under L, but I figured it belonged under Z, so they're together. My old Nintendo DS headset. And the Game Mage. This is an interesting Super Nintendo accessory. Really old and dirty. I really need to get in here with some alcohol and clean it up. But this was sort of an upgrade to the Game Genie. So instead of a genie, it's a mage. But wouldn't a genie be more powerful than a mage? But whatever. And it had built-in codes. There were codes built in for the most popular Super NES games at that time. Like Street Fighter, you can have all kinds of built-in stuff. And of course, you can type in your own codes to do stuff. It's not quite as powerful as like Game Shark. Because Game Shark, you can create your own codes if you know what you're doing. This one, you really sort of have to look them up, and they'll take anything from a regular Game Genie code as well. I believe that were plans to manufacture like an expansion card, so you could put like extra codes into here. But the great thing about this is that you can run Super Famicom games with it. So you can put Super Famicom games into it, then put it in the Super Nintendo, and it'll run just straight up like that. This is Brandish. And I have a couple of other Super Famicom games. I have Final Fantasy V, which is a great find. Street Fighter 2, which I already own a copy of, the Super NES version. And Bubsy, which was the PAL version. So I don't know if that's going to run over here, but it'll be interesting to try it out at some point. And of course you can see my other Super NES games I have. What is that? That's Kirby's Dream Land 3. Very rare cartridge to have. As I explained in my Kirby retrospective video, this was I originally borrowed it from a friend in exchange for Kirby Superstar, and then he lost Kirby Superstar. But thankfully, this one is worth a lot more because it's more rare. I have the Beholder. I've been wanting to revisit this ever since I got into playing Legend of Grimrock. What is this? Faceball 2000. One of the I wanted Faceball 2000 for the longest time because I kept reading about it in magazines, and when I finally bought it, I was really disappointed. Final Fantasy II, aka Final Fantasy IV, Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. I've started this like 10 times and I've never finished it. It's just a very monotonous RPG. Maybe I'll play it on stream at some point and finally complete it. Street Fighter 2, of course. Super Mario World. Everybody has a copy of Super Mario World. Toys, which you might have seen in my Retro Game Treasure video. Very odd game. And, in fact, right here, in this magazine, right on the back cover, there's an ad for toys. So, it was certainly a thing at the time. It was advertised with the tagline of "Toyminate the enemy." Hooray for puns. And beneath that, we have The Lion King. Very difficult Super NES game. Especially the Hakuna Matata level. Fuck that level. Lost Vikings. Another somewhat rare game made by Blizzard before they were called Blizzard. And way down at the bottom, we have Zoop, which is the most 90s puzzle game ever made. Unless maybe if you count Klax. No, Klax was very 80s. Zoop was very 90s. I may do a review of that at some point as well. And two more NES games over here. We have Final Fantasy, which I had to put something in an old case, so I figured I'd choose one of my favorite games. And this one's just empty. I would put another one in there, but the right side, it's so balanced already, so why bother? Maybe if I get another game, I'll put something in there. Maybe Legend of Zelda. Or actually, Zelda 2 is my favorite. I like Zelda 2 more than the original Zelda, fight me.